Hi, my name is Deborah Krieger. I'm the Exhibit and Program Coordinator at the Museum of Work and Culture. Right now I'm standing in our presentation of the Smithsonian poster exhibition, Righting a Wrong, Japanese Americans and World War II. The Righting a Wrong, Japanese Americans and World War II poster exhibition traces the history of Japanese national and Japanese American incarceration during World War II and the people who survived it. The Museum of Work and Culture's presentation of Righting a Wrong harnesses a variety of media to tell this critical history. Complementing the Smithsonian posters are a digital exhibit, musical reflections, informational videos, explanatory texts, illustrative graphic novel panels, visual art, and a book nook, where visitors can learn about Japanese American experiences during this time period through classic children's books. The Righting a Wrong poster exhibition centers around 8 core questions that encourage viewers to engage in a dialogue about how this happened and could it happen again. How can we learn from the past? How could this happen? How do we decide who belongs? Who holds power? What counts as courage? What choices can we make? How does democracy work? How will you shape the future? The hands-on station features a digital exhibit loaned to the museum for Righting a Wrong. Memories of Japanese American Incarceration and Its Legacies contains interviews and oral histories collected by Brown University undergraduates. Let's listen to 2 excerpts from this digital exhibit now.
I didn't understand a thing. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why we were being pulled out of school and why we were packing up. Nothing was explained to us. My parents didn't talk a lot to us. They didn't explain anything. So we thought it was a game.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, and when would you say you, started to kind of figure out, when do you feel like you got the context for what had happened? Was that while you were at camp, or was that not till afterwards?
It was while I was at camp. Probably, when I was 8 years old, when I began to realize, the soldiers marching around us, and the guard tower, and the rifles, and they were aiming the rifles at us. It was not being aimed outside of the camp. It was inside the camp. And they were not friendly to us. They hated us, as a matter of fact.
That the people of Cody wanted the camps built as prisons, and I was wondering, as a child, since you were there, did it feel like a prison to you, especially because it was so weaponized and militarized? Did it feel that way, or do you know that, especially now looking back at it?
Well, when you ask that question, it's kind of an interesting question, because when I saw guard towers with soldiers with weapons and searchlights pointing in toward us, and warning signs on the perimeter, on the fence that says "Do not cross," warning, you can get shot. I knew something was wrong. I probably didn't know the term prison in those days. I was 9 years old.
Right.
But I can certainly feel like I was locked up, and I wouldn't dare get close to that fence because of the warning. But that defines a prison. If you're restrained to a given location with a warning, you can get hurt if you try to cross. That is being imprisoned. So there's no question in my mind. I felt that way.
The hands-on station also features 4 copies of an artist zine by Providence-based artist Lois Harada. The zine, entitled When You Leave the Relocation Center, is based on actual documents that were given to Japanese and Japanese Americans after they left camp. The Righting a Wrong multimedia station features an hour and a half of content, including 7 songs by the No Boy Project, 5 videos from Densho, the Japanese American Legacy Project, as well as 2 short documentaries. No Boy is an immersive multimedia work blending original folk songs, storytelling, and projected archival images, all in service of illuminating hidden American histories. 2 Candles in the Dark is set in Heart Mountain, Wyoming, one of the 10 Japanese prison camps set up by the U.S. government.
I tell you, man, it's like some movie, and she's just tailor-made for the part. Lamps licking the roof beam, she's got good looking down to an art. Hear the old folks sing them old songs, the background just fades away. Our coffee can fire's almost gone, she says I gotta get out of this place. Oh, this girl, a pinpoint, the moment you feel a spark. Brown boots, a dirt floor, we're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. We're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. We're dancing like 2 candles in the dark.
Gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna put my heart at ease. Gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories.
When she was 15 years old, Joy Takeshita was forcibly removed from her home in Los Angeles and sent to Heart Mountain. Behind the barbed wire, under constant guard, and living in impoverished conditions, she always kept her positivity. And she joined a band.
7, that's the time we leave at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven.
During that first harsh winter, Joy auditioned for the Georgie Gawa Orchestra, a formidable big band comprised of semi-professional musicians and some talented high schoolers. The band practiced daily and performed at camp dances every weekend. In fact, during the war years, they were the only swing band in Wyoming and performed across the state.
Sentimental journey home. Sentimental journey home.
The Museum of Work and Culture's presentation of Righting a Wrong also includes brand new panels created by the museum that provide additional information and context. For example, one of our panels is a map of the 10 War Relocation Authority camps in which Japanese and Japanese Americans were held without trial. Minidoka, Tule Lake, Topaz, Manzanar, Poston, Gila River, Jerome, Rower, Granada, and Heart Mountain. One of the major components in the Museum of Work and Culture's presentation of Righting a Wrong is the inclusion of graphic novel panels from We Hereby Refuse, Japanese American Resistance to Wartime Incarceration, written by Frank Abe and Tamiko Nimura, with artwork by Ross Ishikawa and Matt Sasaki. This graphic novel tells the true story of 3 Japanese Americans who fought against being imprisoned in American concentration camps. This exhibition also features 2 prints by Lois Harada, which are part of her project in telling her family's own story of incarceration. Right now I'm standing in front of the Book Nook for the Righting a Wrong exhibition, which invites readers of all ages to explore stories of Japanese American incarceration during World War II. So if you're here, you can grab a book and a cushion, and you can get to reading.